When the world starts to move too quickly, we head out west. Because under towering peaks and an endless sky, life feels full. We're spending a few weeks roaming around the mountains of Wyoming and Montana.
Hey, whoa!
Living completely off-grid in our tiny cabin on wheels. This is tiny cabin life. We're in the Bighorn Mountains of north central Wyoming. It's one of the most beautiful areas in the state, and a place that I've wanted to explore for a very long time. The plan for this trip is to spend the majority of our time here, then move further west towards Yellowstone National Park. Now, if you're a regular viewer of our channel, you've probably noticed that this is an extended cut of a previous adventure. And the reason that I'm putting it out this week is due to a family health crisis that kept me from getting out into the field to record a new adventure. But I assure you, it's definitely worth a watch because I've added a lot of new footage and just breathed new life into it. And if you stick around to the very end, you'll get a sneak peek of the brand new cabin that I'm building right now.
Here.
To start things off here, we're just eating a little bit of breakfast before we head out on a hike deeper into the mountains.
Olivia, do you love blueberries?
She loves blueberries. It's probably her favorite meal.
When Olivia's around, I don't have to share any of my food with Ellie. She does plenty of that. As we got set to head out on a hike, it began to rain. Thankfully in the mountains here, rain kind of comes and goes. One minute it could be an absolute downpour, the next could be sunny and warm. You just kind of have to roll with the punches and be prepared for anything.
So it's been sprinkling a little bit throughout the morning, and looking at the clouds that we have up here, it seems as though we might continue to get some of that. You know, it's just something we're gonna have to roll with.
We're making our way towards an alpine lake back here, which should give us incredible views of the mountain range and opportunities to spot wildlife. The lake that we're headed to sits at around 9,000 feet of elevation, and this trail is a jumping off point into the Cloud Peak wilderness. The lake is only open to non-motorized watercraft, so it's an ideal spot to get out and explore on a kayak. There's also great fishing here with rainbow, brown, and brook trout in abundance. The other side of the lake here seemed like a perfect spot to take Olivia out of the backpack and let her roam around a little bit.
Yeah, whoa! There you go. Yeah, go explore.
It's for you. It's for you. Here you go.
Good snacks. Yeah. So sweet. Is that your buddy?
This is just so special. This is the life. I love it.
Ellie, you are hardcore, girl. It's gotta be cold.
She loves it.
After the hike, we returned to the cabin to make a little bit of lunch, and I wanted to get down to that creek and do some fishing.
Is it not stopping?
No, it's not stopping.
Jeez Louise.
Hi. Ellie, you gotta move over here. Good girl.
Gotta love lunch after a nice hike. Leafy. All right, guys, so I'm gonna try to do some fishing. I picked up a couple of lures and I don't know. I'm optimistic because I've been seeing some fish jump in the stream here. So see what we can do.
This was my first time ever fishing in a stream for trout, and no one really gave me any sort of instruction, so I was kind of just winging it.
All right. Check it out, baby. I'm pretty sure that's a rainbow trout right there. Thank you. No! Well, in typical me fashion, I catch a fish and try to get a cool shot of it, you know, for the video, and end up losing my lure.
However, despite losing the fish and my lure, I felt pretty accomplished catching a trout on my first outing ever. After relaxing in the cabin for a bit, we decided to head out and do some more exploring before evening really started to set in.
So we're going to a fire tower and a chapel up in the mountains here, and I think it's really cool seeing old chapels in the middle of nowhere, the beauty and simplicity of it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Olivia fell asleep on the car ride over here, so Riley and I are going to take turns checking out the chapel. I personally love visiting places of worship out in nature because it just seems so fitting. The mountains, cliffs, and canyons are almost a cathedral in and of themselves, and so getting to experience a chapel like this is very, very meaningful to me.
I just love places like that. I definitely feel a unique sense of connection to God when I'm out in the woods or in the mountains. And so, you know, you put a place of worship out here, it just fits.
As soon as I made it back, Riley hiked into the chapel, and then we were on our way to the old fire lookout. Unfortunately, Olivia was still asleep and Rye didn't want to wake her, so she decided to stay back, and I had to make my way up to the lookout by myself. This is the James T. Saban Fire Lookout. It sits at an elevation of 9,477 feet and was built in 1942 by the Civilian Conservation Corps.
It's really impressive how they built these things where they did, you know, on the peaks of mountains in remote areas. It's just a testament to the hardworking spirit of America, especially back in those days. Groups like the Civilian Conservation Corps really put some major work into the infrastructure that we have in our national parks and national forests, and definitely grateful for them.
Once we made it back to the cabin, it was time to get some dinner started.
You ready for dinner?
No.
No?
No.
I sure am. It's a long day.
This one's yours. You want to start off with this first?
Sure. That's right. Well, I was hoping to have a fire tonight, but we're just too tired. It was a very, very good but long day, and I think we're going to try to get some sleep. So we'll see you guys bright and early in the morning. Good night.
I got up early before anyone else and headed down to the creek to try to do some fishing. But unfortunately this time, I didn't have any luck.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
How are you? Yeah.
Got a great night's sleep last night. The only thing that was a little hard was Olivia was crying.
On and off.
On and off.
Yeah.
Not the whole night, but just on and off. So that kind of kept us up for a while, but we're going to go on a hike this morning, so that'll be really fun.
We're heading back towards the same trailhead we were on yesterday, except today we're going to be hiking to what's supposed to be a pretty impressive waterfall.
All right, guys, so we are headed to West Tensleep Falls, which is about 1.5 miles up this trail. This is a stream that exits the lake that we were at yesterday, and it's the same stream that goes by the cabin. So it's kind of cool to be able to see a waterfall that's just upstream from where we've been fishing and where we've been living for the past couple days. Oh, wow. Look at that.
Definitely a little bit more turbulent up here than it is by our cabin. So you guys, the falls are right there. We're gonna work our way down this trail, get to the bottom of them. The falls here stand about 40 feet tall. And with how dramatically that water is moving, it's kind of wild to think that this turns into the slow, gentle stream that flows by the cabin. You know, I'm always struck by the power of moving water, you know, to carve out canyons and make its way through solid rock. It's beautiful, but man, you gotta have respect for it as well. All right, you guys ready to head back?
She's really sleepy.
All right, time for a nap.
Yeah.
All right. All right, everyone, we're going to take a quick pause in the adventure, and I want to thank Anker SOLIX for sponsoring this video. Growing up in the Midwest taught me how terrifying tornadoes can be, especially when they come through and knock out the power. But you know what? You can be prepared ahead of time. This is the Anker SOLIX F3800 Plus, and it is the perfect solution for backup power in your home. You can use the grid, solar power, or even a generator to charge this thing up for backup power or even daily use, which in turn helps you gain energy independence. I personally love solar power, and this thing right here will allow you to recharge with up to 3,200 watts of solar input. But again, you can always recharge this thing with a fuel generator if you have to. But what I personally love about the F3800 Plus here is that it has enough power to help you keep your life running smoothly, even if power outages happen frequently. And don't worry, you can even add extra batteries if you find yourself needing more power. It allows you to do that to really customize your experience to give you as much power as you need. To learn more, just follow the link in the description of this video. And with that, I want to thank Anker SOLIX for sponsoring. As soon as we made it back to the cabin, some rain showers moved into the area. But I was determined to do some fishing, so I threw on my raincoat and headed down to the creek. Hey, whoa, whoa, Ellie, no, no. Holy cow. That is a big bull moose. And they are aggressive. Ellie, come. Ellie, you get over here. You gotta go back inside. No, 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 this way. Come on, girl. Well, that was crazy. Definitely another reminder that we're in the animal's home and that we have to be careful. Yeah, he's still there. The reason I'm out here is the fish are jumping left and right. I don't know if the rain is bringing them out or what, but I figured I'd give it another try out there. So what I think I'm gonna try to do here is just cast from shore and keep my eye on this guy, because, you know, if he makes any more moves in my direction, definitely I'm gonna want to get out of here.
little tiny guy. Oh, gee. All right. Ooh, they don't look happy. I think we better get out of here. So those are 2 cows. Female. And the bull is right there. Holy moly, this is incredible.
As soon as I backed away from the creek, the 2 cow moose started to run around almost as if they were playing in the rain. And pretty soon the bull joined them. I've never seen anything like this before, and it was incredibly special to be there to witness. As quickly as the rainstorm came upon us, it moved out of the area and the sunshine returned.
Wow, that was incredible, you guys.
That was insane.
Yeah, I showed Riley the footage. She had no idea that was going on because her and Olivia were hanging out in here, and of course with the sound of the rain on the roof, it's hard to hear anything going on out there. Not like you could hear it anyways, but that was so cool.
So we have a little break in the weather. It stopped raining. So I'm going to go catch up on dishes because
we have a lot of them.
It's very needed. Now, do I want to do dishes? No, but it needs to get done. So this is how we do dishes. We have a water basin that we make sure the soap goes into in the water. Just if you're in bear country, we just want to be cautious of that. And yeah, we just use basic dish soap, put it in, and we have our scrubbers over here. We have a little drying station right here as well. And then this is the hose. So I'm going to show you how it works. So like that.
Just spray it out.
And then you just kind of swish it around and yeah, dump it in the water basin.
Because we were just hanging around the cabin this evening, I figured it was the perfect time to have a little fire. Well, you guys know that I like having real fires, but when I'm out in areas with a high fire danger, a lot of places out west have that, like most of the summer, I like to use the fire bowl just for some peace of mind. Sure, it's not the same, but it's warm, it's pretty to look at, and it scratches that itch for me.
Good morning. It's our last few moments here to be able to soak in this spot because we are going to be heading to a new area in the forest here.
It's bittersweet leaving this place, but we are excited for the next site.
We spent the rest of the morning buttoning up our campsite there and then made our way towards a dispersed site that I had found earlier. And because we were going to be out there for a few more days, we decided to just relax and continue the adventure first thing the next morning. My plan for the morning was to hike up to one of the higher alpine lakes while the girls were still sleeping. But while I was having my morning coffee, I started to notice that Ellie was acting a little strangely.
Well, you guys, this is really strange. Ellie's looking lethargic and not eating her food again. This is what happened when she got Lyme disease last time. Oh boy, I really hope that's not happening here. I'm heading out on a hike. And Ellie was supposed to go with me, but I think I'm gonna leave her here and see how she does. I'll tell Rye what's going on and reassess when I get back.
Come on, Ellie.
Poor thing. I mean, you guys know who watch our channel. You know, we're always out in thick brush in Minnesota, and we just have so many ticks. She's treated for them, though, you know, and that's the thing that just, like, gets me. It's like, how are they getting through when she's treated for them? Definitely puts a damper on this hike. Not having her along, but also just worrying about her. But there's really nothing we can do for a few hours anyways. It's 5 a.m. so I'm gonna go out, hike up to this lake, and we'll come back and reassess. And if we have to take her all the way to town to a vet, then that's what we got to do, you know.
This is Mirror Lake, sitting at around 9,500 feet in elevation. It sits at the base of a few notable peaks, including Lake Mountain, Bighorn Peak, and Cloud Peak, which is the tallest one in the range. The lake is supposed to be just chocked full of brook trout, but unfortunately, I didn't bring my fishing pole.
Well, the plan was originally to blow up the pack raft and take that out on the lake here, but I'm kind of worried about Ellie, so I think what I'm going to do is actually just turn back, get back to camp and see how she's doing, so that way we can, you know, get a move on if we have to head into town and take her to a vet. Okay guys, so here's the update on Elle. She seems to be doing a little better. I guess she ate her food and she just drank some water too, but is still acting a little lethargic. And she's limping a little bit, so I don't know. We're definitely gonna take her to Buffalo, I think, or at least to the other town that's nearby to get her to a vet. I would definitely rather be safe than sorry. It's always something around here. I'd rather be safe than sorry and try to get her on some antibiotics if they'll give them to her. I really hope they will, because I really think that this has to be a tick thing again. It seems so similar to the last time. So we're gonna take her and yeah, we'll see what happens.
We made our way down through the mountains and called a bunch of different vets in a few different towns. All of the closest vets didn't have any openings to be able to see Ellie. However, we were able to get her into a vet in a town a little bit further away.
All right guys, so we ended up not going to Buffalo, but instead headed down the other side of the mountains and ended up in a town called Warland, Wyoming. We brought Ellie in, and she, they think that this definitely could be Lyme related, either chronic Lyme or just a new case. But either way, thankfully, they hooked us up with some antibiotics for her, and so that's great. We're gonna get her started on those immediately. And last time we did this, she was on the mend like within 24 hours, so we should know fairly soon on this whether or not it's helping her. So super grateful for that. We've been just, you know, praying for her, of course, and yeah, so it's encouraging.
Home sweet home.
We are back. Come on out, girl. Good doggy.
Taking care of Ellie lasted all day, so when we made it back to the cabin, it was already time for dinner.
Cheers.
Cheers. So good.
That seasoning and that salsa tastes incredible. Well, after the day that we've had, I think a little fishing is in order. Just relax a bit. Hopefully we'll have some luck. Whoa! Oh my gosh, moose. Holy moly. Whew. Never run into so many moose in my life. Hope that guy is continuing on, or gal rather. It was a female. Get a load of this guy. He's not huge, but it's definitely a pretty fish. Man, it's a lot of fun. Another little guy here. I think we got a lot of these little ones in this area. They're fun to catch. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it there. We got 2, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I think I gotta head back. We're gonna do a little bit of a fire before we call it quits for the night. And that sounds good to me. Just another way to unwind after stressful day. Well, today was certainly an interesting day. It's just crazy to think that it all started right here around this campfire, and here we are, back again.
Yeah, it was really sad that Ellie wasn't feeling well earlier, so. But she seems like she's on the mend, which is good, so. Should we go inside?
Little thunder. Little thunder action.
Wow.
So much for our campfire.
Our neighbors are getting their tent.
Are they?
Yeah.
Little thunderstorm never hurt anybody.
We should go inside.
Okay.
Yes. Can you say yes?
Bye.
Bye? Why are you saying bye? She's waving bye. Are you leaving somewhere?
No. No.
Are you leaving?
I'm ready.
Okay, bye.
Good morning, guys. Really grateful to say that Ellie seems to be feeling a lot better today. I let her out at around 5 a.m. and she sprung into action, was fired up, and scarfed down her food like that, which is typical Ellie. So definitely seems like she's doing better, and it's very encouraging. So today is shower day, and we have to fill up our tank here. I bought a brand new 8-gallon tank for the cabin, specifically for this trip. And it's much better than the 2-gallon that we had last year, but still, for the 3 of us to get clean, it takes about a full tank of water. So we're gonna have to go fill this thing up. We're gonna do so after we go on our hike. It's pretty cool how this works though. You've got these mounts here that have these little locks, so you can lock the tank on there, and you can also take it off, and so we can actually remove the tank from the cabin to fill it up. So as you can see, we got another moose out there. I would not be surprised if that's the same one that we encountered yesterday when we were fishing at the stream over there. It's so cool to just see so much wildlife, you know. Really makes it a special experience. Okay, so we are headed to Meadowlark Lake to do a little bit of a walk. It's hard to call it a hike. It's gonna be pretty short, but we're gonna stop off and get out the pack raft.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going kayaking and just being out on the water. It's nice when I get to do things like this, when we get to take turns, Jack and I, switching off with Olivia. So I can do my thing, he can do his thing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun.
Olivia, what do you think? What are you thinking? Wow.
Wow is right.
How cool is it that a 1-year-old is able to appreciate beauty like this?
It really is cool.
It's so awesome. Hey, should we stop here?
Yeah, this looks good.
Awesome. Here. Want it? No, that one is yours. Do I look like an amateur or do I look cool?
You look great.
You supposed to lean back?
Just be comfortable.
Hi, sweetie. Here I come. Hi. Hi. I love you.
So check this out, you guys. I picked up a telescoping fishing pole, which is perfect for when you're hiking in to places because it packs down obviously super small, and then you're able to telescope it out and do some fishing. So we're gonna test it out for the first time right now. I've been using these Panther Martin lures, and that's what I've been catching all these trout with. So I'm gonna open up a new one to put on this rod, and we'll see what we can do. Well, this wind is just not the play. Whoa, wait, got one. Woo! All right.
That's awesome.
Cal. Of course, again, it's right when I'm about to call it quits. It's so great. Another baby trout. That's kind of what I've been catching for the last few days. Back in you go. Pretty sweet. All right, so we are headed home for some lunch, but before we get back to the cabin, we're gonna stop and fill up that water tank. So we were staying here a couple days ago.
Yeah.
We're just at a dispersed site now.
Okay.
Do you mind if we fill up our water?
No, you can do whatever you'd like.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
so
appreciate it.
much.
All right, guys, so this right here is a little water pump. So, gonna fill up there. So what's really cool about this water tank, you guys, is the fact that you can fill it up through these holes down here, right? But this thing is also set up for rainwater collection. So any water that collects on top of it goes down into the tank through that little hole. So it's a pretty efficient way to fill this thing up because you don't really waste any of the water. It's lunchtime. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow.
This is coming. There we go.
Dear God, thank you for this food. Thank you for another great morning. Amen. Mm-hmm. Now with lunch out of the way, it's finally shower time. Just gotta hook everything up and we're good to go. All right, so I got the shower all set up. The girls are gonna go first and then it'll be my turn. Well, it's our last night in the Bighorns, and we figured what better way to sort of close this chapter than by coming up to this overlook and just looking out over those peaks. It's just stunning, awe-inspiring, every word you could use.
Olivia, should we go run out in the field? Should we go run out in the field?
Well, after almost an entire week in the Bighorn Mountains, it was finally time to pack up camp and move on. From here, we made our way to Yellowstone National Park, where we met up with some family on Riley's side for a little bit of a reunion. And so after a few days of quality time with everybody, we set up camp on the northeast side of the park for one last adventure before heading home to Minnesota.
This is easily one of the most spectacular sights that we've ever come to. We are right outside of Yellowstone National Park, surrounded by dramatic peaks, beautiful wildflowers, and we're in the heart of grizzly bear country.
We only have one full day here, so we're going to try to make the most of it before thunderstorms make their way into the area later on in the day.
Just making some quick breakfast before Ellie and I head out on the trail. There's a trailhead just up the road from where we're at that leads to a lake that looks pretty cool. So we're going to try to get out there and check it out.
I'm a little nervous about the grizzly bears, so we're going to stay behind. But I cannot wait to go to Yellowstone today.
Got a little sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast burrito. Perfect fuel for this hike. All right, love you guys.
Love you too. Have fun.
Will do. See you soon. All right, guys, so here's where we're headed. We're going up to the upper Lady of the Lake trailhead, which is just a mile up this road, so not too far to go.
At this point, Ellie had been back to her normal self for multiple days, so it definitely seemed like those antibiotics really helped her out.
All right, here is the trailhead. And there's a lot of people on this trail, which is good for bear safety. Wow, that's pretty. I brought my fishing pole. Guarantee we could catch something in there. Maybe on the way back. Hey, bear! Hey, bear! This is grizzly bear country, which means you got to take many, many more precautions. You want to make noise. So say stuff like, hey, bear! Coming down the trail! And that lets the bears know you're coming, and they'll get out of your way. But another thing that you want to do is make sure you have some sort of a deterrent. And the best deterrent you can have is bear pepper spray. It allows you to spray the bears in the eyes. It'll disorient them, and they'll usually take off. It's the most effective deterrent out there. And you guys, I want to make it known that hiking in grizzly country is very, very safe. You have to have respect and you have to be prepared, but there's only like one incident with a bear per hundreds and hundreds of millions of people who are out here hiking and living in these mountains. It's much more dangerous walking down a sidewalk in your town or your city. So while you have to have the respect for the bears when you're out here, you got to be prepared for them. This is not something to shy away from. You just want to be informed and know how to react if you do come across a bear. Oh man, check out the old cabin. Let's take a peek inside. There's a lot of these old abandoned cabins up in the mountains here out west. A lot of them are from miners back in the day who came in, built their cabins, tried to get what they could out of the land, and then had to pack up and leave. I gotta say, this would have been a nice spot for a cabin. You got the creek right out front here. All the water you could ever need. I'd take it. Hey, bear. Wow.
This is Lady of the Lake, a beautiful body of water here in the Beartooth Mountains. It sits at around 8,800 feet of elevation, and with only about a 3-mile round-trip hike, it's a pretty accessible destination for people visiting the area. I'm going to try to do a little bit of fishing here. The lake mainly features brook trout, which are very well suited to the cold alpine water.
Man, I am loving this hiking fishing pole that I got. It's so nice to be able to just set it up real quick and start fishing. Now, I haven't seen any signs of life or gotten a bite at all, but how do you beat this view? You can't.
Now, unfortunately, we weren't able to stay up there for too long because of all the things that we have planned for the day. And so it's definitely a short but sweet taste of the backcountry here.
We made it.
Back at the cabin, we ate a little bit of lunch while Olivia finished up a nap. But as soon as she wakes up, we're loading up in the truck and heading into Yellowstone.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, welcome to Yellowstone.
Thank you very much. I have this and I can give you my ID.
Please.
Shortly after entering into the park, we came across this little herd of bison. You're basically guaranteed to see them anywhere inside Yellowstone, and it's always fun to do so.
Oh my gosh, it's in the middle of the road. They're both in the middle of the road. Oh my gosh. That thing is huge. Alright, Jack, go around him before he cuts in front of you. Come on.
Say hi, Rye.
Hi. Okay, go. Go. I'm scared. I'm scared.
That was great.
He was like the biggest one I've seen so far.
Yeah, he was a big guy.
He seemed friendly.
Yeah, he was kind.
He seemed very kind. Olivia looked at him too. Was like, what the heck? What was that, Olivia?
All right, so this is the Lamar River over here, which is leading us into Lamar Valley. Lamar Valley is known to have a lot of wildlife. You can see tons of bison. There's a wolf pack here. There's probably more than one, honestly, but I'm just aware of one. It's definitely a good spot to check out. It feels like you're on like an American safari. Hi! You are cute. You ready to get out and run around a little bit? Okay, we'll get you out. Look at this wild child rocking her Yellowstone shirt. It's pretty cool, huh?
Across the river, I spotted some pronghorn. Pronghorn are actually the fastest land mammals in North America, reaching speeds of up to 55 miles per hour. And they're not just good at sprinting, they can maintain high speeds of 35 to 45 miles per hour for long distances, which helps them outrun predators.
You have a flower for me? Oh, I love it. And a stick?
Jack, you have to keep that.
And a stick? That is the sweetest thing ever, Olivia. Thank you so much.
She's like, it's not a big deal. Walks away.
As we were continuing down the road, Riley spotted something up on the hillside.
See him?
No, Riley spots a grizzly bear.
See him?
Where the heck is he?
Okay, see it?
No, how far away is he?
It's about like 100 yards. There, right there, see him?
I don't see anything.
Well, I see him. He's right here. See him?
Oh, I see him now. I see him now.
He's moving right there.
Is it just above the trees?
It's
Just below?
It's just below the trees. He's right straight ahead. See him?
There he is. Yep, I see him.
A grizzly? Pretty far, but yeah.
You guys, this is so insane. Normally, you see a whole line of cars, and then you pull over and you find out what they're looking at, and they're like, oh, it's a bear or a moose or whatever. Rye spotted this grizzly first. So all these people sitting here watching are here because Rye spotted it. I'm telling you, she's the new Eagle Eyes. She is.
Now, at the time, everyone there thought that this was certainly a grizzly bear. But after looking at the footage, it appears that it's actually a black bear. Still, it's pretty cool to see such an amazing animal out in the wild.
I don't know how you can do much better in a hour-and-a-half long trip to Yellowstone.
No, that was so eventful. Oh my gosh.
Buffalo, antelope, a grizzly bear that she spotted.
I feel like since we've been here this whole week, this hour and a half has been the most eventful.
Yeah.
Seeing animals.
Seriously.
I don't know what it is, but maybe it's just because it's more the evening time. I don't know. But that was so cool. And he was huge. He was a big guy. So, very cool.
Very good job, Rye.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, now we got a black bear.
Oh my gosh, he's coming down. Put our hazard lights on. Where's our hazard lights?
It's in the middle.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
We cannot get out of Yellowstone.
That's insane.
This is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my gosh.
He is right there. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think we... Oh, they're gonna tell us to go.
Do not stop at the road.
Okay. We gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Oh my gosh. That was amazing. What the heck? Whoa. How are we seeing all this? Oh wow. Olivia, I wish you could
Appreciate this.
Yeah. You're a little too young.
Well, with that, we're gonna get back to the cabin. Maybe, unless we see something else.
We made it back to the cabin, it seemed, with just enough time to make some dinner before the storm rolled in.
Had to go with a classic tonight. We're having burritos.
Thank you.
Keep us safe tonight and safe on the road home. Amen.
Really good.
Good.
Olivia.
My favorite food. The ground beef tastes amazing. We've got store-bought pico this time. Felt like making it easy. And of course, cheese and tapatio. Classic.
The storm moved in slowly as thunder started to echo through the valley here.
So thankfully, Olivia's at the age still where storms don't faze her, as you can hear. Ellie, on the other hand, is not a fan. She definitely gets a little freaked out, but she'll be okay. This is supposed to pass in a little bit here.
You said this is like a normal thing up here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So like thunderstorms usually roll in the afternoons or evening like this most days, honestly. But they're powerful, that's for sure.
Yeah. Dang.
The storm passed with just enough time for us to come out for a little fire on our last night out west.
Well, this is the final night in the mountains of this road trip, and I couldn't think of a better way to conclude things. And with a cool storm, and then being able to take in a sunset like this, it's just unreal.
Yeah, it's really bittersweet knowing that our 3-week road trip is coming to a close. We've made a ton of new memories that I know that we'll look back on very fondly.
I think, Rye, you've made leaps and bounds in certain areas of fears, like of grizzly bears and stuff. You've done a really, really good job.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I've just touched the tip of the iceberg when it comes to bears, but I feel like it's a step in the right direction, and I'm pretty proud of myself.
So that's going to do it for the extended cut of our adventure in the Bighorn Mountains and Yellowstone National Park. I hope you all enjoyed it and that it filled in well in the absence of a new adventure this week. We will certainly be back next week with a brand new video, and I have some epic things planned for the next month, so you definitely don't want to miss the coming weeks here. Now it's just about time for me to let you go, but before I do, as promised, here is a sneak peek of the brand new cabin that I'm building. All right, if you've made it this far into the video, here is the moment that you've hopefully been waiting for. Here she is, the new cabin.
So the idea with this camper is to build a smaller version of the travel cabin over there. Something that's really designed for just myself and Ellie to take out, and will be easier to tow. It'll be better for gas mileage and much easier as well to take down smaller trails, turn around, all that good stuff. It's just gonna be all around easier. You can really think of it almost like a teardrop camper if you've ever seen those. They're really just a couch or a bed, space for you to be able to hang out and sleep when you need to, but your main objective is to be hanging out outdoors, and that's kind of the idea here as well. The exterior of this thing is pretty simple. You know, you just got the 2 windows on either sides. You've got a window on the front door, and that's really it. You know, I'm going to try to keep this very similar style to our other cabins. It's going to be stained the same color. We'll have the green trim around the windows, and yeah, it's basically just a smaller version of the travel cabin over there. So it's going to look very, very much the same as that. The only thing that will be kind of unique to this cabin is I'm hoping to have some sort of a weatherproof box on the back there for maybe putting a refrigerator, because, you know, a lot of times when I'm out on the road, I need to store my food, I need to keep it cold, and it'd be nice to have a refrigerator attached to the camper there, and it would need to be weatherproof. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm also going to try to build a platform on the back where I'd be able to do some cooking outdoors, because, you know, with the smaller space, it'd be nice to spend as much time outside as I can. My plan for the interior here is to have basically a single couch chair thingy that folds out to a bed. So it'll go right there, and you'll be able to sit in it by day, hang out, and then when it's time to go to bed, fold it out into the bed and go to sleep. As far as anything else goes for the interior, I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet. I'm going to get the floor in there, insulation, walls, all that stuff, and then I'll start tackling that. So if you have any suggestions there, let me know. Now, as far as heat is concerned, in the wintertime, I am planning on putting in a wood stove, most likely the same stove that I have in the bike cabin, just because of how small and compact it is. I would love to find something that's even slightly bigger than that, but I don't think it exists. So if you know of any micro wood stoves, let me know. It's just the ones that are built for tiny cabins like what we have in our travel cabin. It's still just a little too big for this space. So as of this moment right now, I'm gonna use the same stove I have in the bike cabin. Now, I didn't want to do a diesel heater, mainly because I want to keep it simple, and I like heating with wood. It's nice, it's reliable, and I love watching the fire flicker and all that. It just adds to the ambiance. So that's the plan as of now. So that's your sneak peek of the new cabin. I haven't named it yet, so if you have any ideas, let me know. You know, the ones we like are like bike cabin, boat cabin, travel cabin. They're all really on the nose. So if you have any ideas for what we should name this thing, let me know. Now, before we go, I just want to thank all of you who have been praying for my dad. He has had some improvements in all of the different symptoms that have popped up. So we're encouraged. He's still in the hospital, so prayers are appreciated still. But it looks like he's headed in the right direction where we can get him back on track. And man, I'm just so grateful for all of you who have sent, you know, notes and prayers and well wishes, all of that. It's just, it's so humbling, and it's really powerful to know that people all over the world are thinking and praying for my dad. So thank you guys so much. As always, I want to give a shout out to our patrons who generously donate to this channel. Thank you guys so much. But again, all of you who watch this channel, you mean the world to us. We're so grateful to be able to do this for you. And yeah, we really love and appreciate you. So thanks so much. But that's going to do it for now. Make sure you come back next week for a brand new adventure, and we'll see you then. God bless.